Ever since I started riding my bike less, my relationship with motorcycling has drastically changed. Yo, what is up guys? Today, we're going to talk about what it's like to not daily your motorcycle. We've got a pretty packed weekend, and my noble steed will be my primary form of transport throughout the next 2 days. Let me give you guys a little bit of context. So I've been riding for over 3 years now, and for 2 of those years, I was dailying my bike. Yep, definitely didn't skip traffic using the bicycle lane again. So about 6 months after I started riding, I began dailying my motorbikes, and about 6, 7, maybe 8 months ago, I stopped dailying my bikes. To this day, I still don't actually have a dedicated car. I'm lucky enough to be able to use either my girlfriend's car or my parents'. God damn, it feels good to be on this thing again. I stopped dailying my bike because it just wasn't worth it anymore. The fun that I experienced while commuting to work did not end up outweighing the negatives. The inconvenience, the weather adversities, the full gear all the time, and of course the biggest one, the risk to my personal safety. The benefits beyond just the fun, you know, the parking, the skipping traffic, all of that stuff, it stopped being worth it. So I kind of just stopped for a bit, and I'm sure that if I started again, maybe in a few more months or maybe even years, that fun would be back again. It would be new, it would be exciting. But after 2 years of that, it kind of wore off. But that's just to set the scene for you guys. I went from riding almost every day for 2 years to purely a hobby kind of situation. And unsurprisingly, it's had an impact on my relationship with motorbikes and my riding journey. The biggest noticeable difference being the fact that I now yearn to ride these things. When you ride a motorcycle almost every day, and like 80 to 90% of that is commuting, you know, trying to stay alive, and trying to get from point A to point B. Yes, the commute is much funner than if you were in a car or on a train, but it starts to wear you down a little. It starts to dull the flame that you have for your motorcycle, especially if you aren't doing a lot of other stuff, if you aren't going on recreational rides on the weekend, if you aren't going on track days, if you aren't moto camping. I found that when I was commuting, I didn't really feel as inclined to do all these other things because I was riding a motorcycle during the week most of the time. I didn't have an itch. But the moment I stopped commuting, I started doing track days, I got a dirt bike, I started going out on recreational runs with my dad and my friends more often, and it kind of made me fall in love with motorcycles in a bit of a different angle, and I appreciate that. It's cool, man. It's nice to see this side of riding, where it's not just a form of transport. I find that my rides are far more intentional, and there's a lot more meaning behind them. Like, I'm left feeling more fulfilled, because now when I hop on the bike, it's because I really want to, you know? Oftentimes, I'll find myself choosing the bike no matter how inconvenient it is. Even if I need to carry a few things, if I need to spend 10 minutes gearing up beforehand and gearing down afterwards, I still want to ride these things. Now, if there's a social engagement occurring, I will do everything I possibly can to take my motorcycle instead of the car. Even a scenario like this, I know that I'm kind of getting from point A to B, there's a lot of traffic, it's a suburban area, but I'm having a really good time because I just don't get to ride my bike often. To me, this is still liberating, it's fun. Man, this is so good. It's going to be a really nice day, and it's off to a banging start because I'm on the Ninja 400. It's where I belong. Ever since Dad passed away, I haven't done much. I've struggled to get out. Obviously, these past few months have been quite depressing and difficult for me, but we're slowly getting back to the regular routine, starting to ride the motorbikes again, starting to go dancing again. I went out for the first time last night, and I had a good time. And throughout this whole ordeal, my friends have been invaluable to me. They've been checking in on me, they've been hanging out with me, distracting me, but also, you know, talking about the real stuff too, tackling it as it happened, and I'm forever grateful to those guys. You guys know who you are if you're watching this. A couple of you will probably be in this video.
Cheers, boys.
Yeah, we're getting back to it, guys. And riding the motorcycle is a big part of that, because if you've seen my last video, you know how touchy it is as a topic, as a hobby, as a passion, but it feels right. And god damn, does this motorcycle look good. Fucking love this thing, man. Oh my god, what a day that was. Rode my motorbike to my mate's house, had some cigars, had some drinks, which then rolled into another drink sesh with the rest of the friend group, ended the night with a zinger box, and made it to the next day, ready for our next adventure, which is brunch with another friend. Feels good to be getting out there, seeing all my friends, socializing, getting back to life, and feels great to be doing that all with my Ninja 400, my noble steed, my trusty companion. One of the other things I noticed about no longer dailying my bike is the level of safety that I now feel. Let's be real, motorcycling is inherently a dangerous game, and by reducing the amount of time you spend in the seat, you're actually increasing your level of safety. But it's not just that, it's not just directly proportionate to the amount of seat time you're spending or lack thereof. It's also the fact that I'm avoiding peak hour now. Peak hour is crazy, even if you're in a car. But when you're on a motorbike, it's just so risky, man. People are rushing to get to work. They're still half asleep. They're eating breakfast. They're doing their makeup. They're on their phones. And then in the evening, it's just as risky because everyone's tired. Everyone's annoyed. Everyone just wants to get home after a long, hard day at work. No longer commuting. I am now avoiding these peak hours. Makes a big difference. I feel a lot safer, which is a big deal to me. Like, I'm a pretty risk-averse guy, so you can imagine the internal battle I kind of have with myself when it comes to riding a motorbike. How good's this? This is so satisfying, guys. Look at that. Straight to the front, baby. Speaking of safety, usually if I'm heading out to a social engagement where I can't store my gear, where I can't get changed, you'll find me in my casual riding jeans and my casual riding boots. These are much comfier, they're more breathable. I can actually do stuff when I'm off the bike with them, but I do also sacrifice a bit of safety, which is why I try and wear my full leather pants and leather boots where possible. But in order to wear them, I do need a place to change, I do need a place to store my gear, and that presented itself to me last night. I was able to store all of that at my mate's house. Today is a bit different, but we're gonna make it work. It's been an amazing weekend, guys. You know, I'm spending it with my family, my friends, and my Ninja 400. This is the life. So even though I'm no longer dailying my motorcycle, my love for these machines has not diminished. It's just changed my approach to how I interact with them. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will catch you on the next one.
You say you got them guns, but I've never seen you bang. You say you got them drugs, but I've never seen you slang.